Greetings and aloha, what's going on? It's Mike from LiveMyAssUp.com. I've got the camera on the motorbike, and I was gonna go live, but I can't get the app to like sync to it and cruise up. But for the most part, it's like a 35-minute drive, and of course I pull over multiple times to be able to, you know, check on Google Maps. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to City National Park, which is the beach that is like right at the end of the runway at the airport. So I just want to check that out. I've had the opportunity to do that in many places, like Bermuda and other places, and it's just kind of neat. Plus, I'm sure there's going to be like very few people there, so that'll be fun and be good for a nice walk. Anyway, a couple things I wanted to say. First of all, I rent my bike here, as I mentioned, in Phuket at quickrentalphuket.com. That's easy to find. But quick bike rentals, basically, and they're really good bikes, which I really appreciate. But also, the people that own the rental company, they own this place called Ying's Breakfast Place, basically Y-I-N-G. And the breakfast was stellar for like 99 baht. You get like a ton. It's like in a pot or in a pan, in a frying pan. It's stellar. Anyway, so I'm gonna take off from here. I'm gonna cruise up there, and then I'll check back in. I may, you know, do some footage of driving up there, because once you get into the hills right here, you look out over the water. It's absolutely gorgeous, and there's literally not a cloud in the sky right now. So anyway, I'm also gonna stop bending over and like hurting my back and stand up straight like a human being and put my helmet on and then go for a ride, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, off we go. Have a good day, buddy. Alright, so the good news is that I know that I really don't even need to yell. I just basically drive around talking to myself. Which one could argue, given the current global climate of oh god, okay, there we go. Of senility, driving around on a motorbike talking to yourself, you know, yelling straight ahead basically, probably doesn't sound all that crazy. So anyway, Siri Knot National Park is where we're headed. Glad you're along for the ride. So I'm going about 60 kilometers an hour to give you an idea of how much wind I'm going into. My expectation is that, yes, you'll hear some wind noise, but for the most part, you'll be able to hear my voice. I'm really only talking loud enough to basically hear myself, if you will, in the sense that I've got a helmet on, and it covers my ears. So, which is nice, because actually it cuts down the white noise / wind noise for me, too. While at the same time protecting my ears should I have a fall. Again, nobody puts on a seatbelt expecting to have an accident. I do not put on a helmet expecting to have an accident. I drive what I believe to be pretty cautiously, and for some of you that would translate into slowly, but I'm pretty darn comfortable on this motorbike. This is the first time I've rented a PCX, actually. Usually, even though they will offer a PCX, I'll be like, no, just give me a click, because it's like smaller and easier to maneuver. And so at first I thought, this is going to be like a big bike. This is going to be like totally weird. And then I realized that, and it's a 150. But here's what's interesting. The bike itself is a lot heavier than a click, right? And because of that, actually having a 150, it doesn't really propel this thing. In other words, I've had it wide open just driving up the hills, and as I was driving up, it got me up the hill, but it also was like slowing down as I was going up the hill. And I'm about 207 pounds, maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, so airport, it said airport this way, it didn't say how many kilometers it is to the airport, but that's basically where we're headed. At the end of the day, you take a left before the airport, down to Sirinat National Park, where I've never been, and so this will be a first for both of us, so that'll be nice. And 17 kilometers to the airport, so I would anticipate that probably translates the way I drive probably into about a half an hour. So I'm not going to do that for the whole way, although I'm pretty certain I'm quite capable of speaking constantly, non-stop, ad nauseum for 30 minutes. That challenge is too difficult. But I do have my extra battery with me, but I do of course have finite battery, and I have actually more battery than I have storage space at this moment, or at this place in time. I have the memory stick that the GoPro comes with, which I think is like a SanDisk 32 gig. So I believe that allows me to record 1 hour and 16 minutes worth of foot. I hate this bump right here. Of footage. And so while I do like the whole cruising around thing, a lot of this footage is going to be on roads either like this or even bigger than this, meaning it's going to be like 2 lanes both ways, and there's going to be, people are going to be driving, as far as I'm concerned, too fast, especially, given that we're living on an island. It's like, dude, chill out. But again, I'm on vacation permanently, and I understand how some people aren't. I can also understand how right now globally it's very stressful. So getting from point A to point B faster than you are currently doing it, I can understand how some people are like, no, I must go faster. I'm not going to arrive there at the time I want to, even though it's in, you know what, actually I'm going to take a detour. I'm going to go down to where it says Catch Beach, because I believe that if I get to Catch Beach, I will be able to, or Catch Beach Resort, restaurant rather, Catch Beach Restaurant, I will be able to hang out with some peeps. Now this is actually the other end of Surin Beach, actually. So this isn't necessarily Catch Beach. So I'm not quite sure where I am. I'd have to check Google Maps. But honestly, right now, I'm not really in the mood. I just thought maybe if it was easy, I would check it out. But the other thing I really like about Thailand is it's like you get somewhere, and especially on a motorbike, first of all, you can go the wrong way on the road. You can go the wrong way down the street. But secondly, I mean, if there's dirt and there's like space available, then you can just drive. It's no big deal. No one's gonna look at you weird. And if I were to park on the left side of the road, if I were to park on the right side of the road, like literally no one would. They would look at me, of course, because I'm a foreigner wearing a bright yellow helmet. But for the most part, it really wouldn't be. They wouldn't be paying attention to me because of the way that I'm driving or where I'm driving. Ooh, this is like soft, thick sand right here. It's kind of annoying. But it's definitely beautiful down here. Now, I was at the other end of this beach yesterday, last night for a time lapse of sunset. So that was pretty nice. And yeah, it's nice. They have these little restaurants here on the right. I actually stopped at one of them and I got just a couple of waters last time I was down here. They have actual coconuts over there, so I may come back here actually and hang out with a coconut. And there's a lot of shade on these trees, so that's kind of nice. But anyway, this is definitely not where Catch Beach Restaurant is, but it's obviously, gorgeous. It's the gorgeous beach to the right, and I'm not quite sure whether you can, I mean, again, it's far away, certainly as far as this camera's concerned, so I'm sure that basically you can focus on what's about 10 feet in front of me and everything else is tiny. But this sand, I'm telling you what, like you really, seeing its one thing. Driving it is it's just kind of annoying, right? Because you fall in the tracks of other people, but you know, I'm also real comfy driving at 20 kilometers an hour. That's my speed, baby. Especially when it's next to a beach like this. 40 baht for a coconut, which is actually, considering it is right by the beach, I consider that to be reasonable. That is approximately $1.30. I will do that all day long. In fact, in Southern California, we have a word for coconuts that people are keeping chilled on ice all day long and then will deliver to you on your beach chair. And if you guys don't know what that word is, then you guys don't know Joe P. Well, the good news, it's really easy. I've got like a different sort of mount, and I believe this is going to be more successful than the last one. Meaning if I go over a bump, it doesn't look like I've absolutely, completely killed myself. Oh, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to check the map, because I believe I've been here before, and I believe I've gone to the left here, and I've gone down that road, and it was like kind of cool. So I need to figure out, for some reason, this like, I'm having like massive like deja vu-ish kind of thing. I believe this feels like I'm in, Surat Thani. Sorry, Koh Samui. So anyway, but I'm gonna shut the bike off for a sec. I'm gonna check my check Google Maps. I'll be right back. You know what I've come more accustomed to, and I actually kind of like it, is that when I go somewhere, meaning like I leave a parking lot and I exit the parking lot, I enter the roadway. I do it a lot less slowly than I used to, I realize. The way they drive over here, it's a lot less quick. And like, in other words, you know how like in the US, right, you pull out into traffic, right? Sometimes you got to do it like really fast so that you like, you know, get up to speed, and so you can like get in between an opening or something like that, right? Whereas here, it's like, you know, people will just like inch out into traffic slowly and increase speed, and all of the traffic will literally just like slow down for you. As long as you're as long as you're in motion. If you stop and like look both ways, that's not really encouraged. Actually, it's more encouraged that you just like keep with your motion. I believe I did not need to take this left back there. Kenny Rogers Roasters. I've actually been exactly here before, and it was when I went to Bang Tao Beach. But I don't believe I'm supposed to be here right now for the location that I'm heading to, so I'm going to double check on Google Maps. So stand by. So if you're of the Google Map feeling, basically to my left is Bang Tao Beach, and I'm effectively driving along the little side road here from south to north with Bang Tao Beach on my left. I'm then going to come up to an area called Laguna Beach. I've just driven through all of the like Laguna Beach new developments and that sort of thing, and man, I'll tell you, I mean, it's probably a buyer's market. I can't tell that for sure, but I will tell you right now that it looks a lot like 2009 in Maui, when many of the overbuilt, excessive number of condos were just completely empty. And that was a buyer's market for about 3 years, and then those people that bought at that time and doubled their money left, and 115% 5-year repurchase plan. Does that mean if I spend $100,000 on a condo, then 5 years from now, they will buy it back from me for $115,000 and I get to live in it for 5 years? I wonder what the monthly fees are. It's been my experience that homeowners association fees, homeowners fees, in air quotes, right, here in Thailand are quite minimal. Whereas like my buddy, he lives in Mission Valley, his homeowners fees are $350 a month, right? And I think that's a lot. I mean, that's my monthly rent in Bangkok, $350. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna check the map right now. So stand by. So this is a good sign because I want to go to REEEEALLY National Park. I want to go to the part of it that's right basically at the beginning of the runway, right at the beach, but we'll see. Okay, I actually believe that sign back there is not really pointing me towards the national park that I want to go to. I believe it literally points me somewhere where all there is Lion Beach. Bathroom, campsite, visitor center. Ooh, you can camp here. Wow, this is pretty awesome. This is a pretty awesome beach, but, and again, one could argue that I've now already met my quota for one new beach a day. However, kind of in the mood to keep going because I really want to go up to the, oh wow, you can just like pitch a tent. That's so cool, man. Yeah, if Gracie and I were here, we would totally just like pull our car up, man, road trip it with the tent. Live at the beach for a little bit. But because of that, I don't necessarily want to explore this beach by myself because this is one of those classifications of things. So there's the ranger station right there, REEEEALLY National Park. But again, don't forget, all of, or much of Surat Thani is part of the Phi Phi National Park. And most people just know Phi Phi is Koh Phi Phi Island, which of course is Koh Phi Phi Don. Anyway, looking at the map, I believe if I were to take in that 90 that I approached this with, i.e. coming from where is in front of us, and then taking a right, which is now of course a left for me. Going down here will take me all the way to the 4018, Route 4018, I believe is where this will take me, and then from there, basically at the end of this road, I will take a left. It will be a T. I will take a left, and that will kind of take me up sort of like, you know, technically through this national park. I'm sure there's like neighborhoods and things like that, but yeah, this is my life at about 40 kilometers an hour, and I'm digging it. Hope you are too. It's also my life with a significant number of speed bumps. That's the other reason I always want a motorbike with good brakes, is when the speed bumps show up and they're just like unannounced. That and the big hills that are here in Phuket. I want to be able to be the guy that like is really who rides on his brakes all the way down the hill versus riding the motorbike after the guy before me rode his brakes riding all the way down the hill. I want to be that guy. And you know, the interesting thing about it is I would be more than happy when I return this bike to be like, what's it going to cost to, and I'm not just talking about this one because this one actually has fine brakes. You know, I should actually do that rather than, you know, fill it up with gas. Like, I think I'm doing them a favor, right, when I leave it with a full tank. But you know what I really should do is I should say, look, what's it going to cost to like redo the brake pads on this thing? Because I swear it can't be more than 1,000 baht. And I think that would add a hell of a lot more value, really. Certainly to the next person. I don't know, maybe I'll try that on the next. You know when I would do that is I would do that with the motorbike that I rent in Koh Samui. Because while Balm is like totally awesome and she's lovely and stuff, she believes that if the front brake is too tight, then I'll go flipping over the handlebars. And it's like, no. That's essentially the only brake I really need. I mean, course, you need the rear one, I get. Lion Police Service Station is the little road down there. And, oh, this is also that sign back there. This is also part of the Department of Rural Roads. You know, I'm not sure if whether those like big like 4-lane roads that they have here in Phuket are part of the Department of Rural Roads. But I can tell you right now, the roads that I like to drive on when I'm going through Thailand are the ones that have the signs that say Department of Rural Roads. It'd be kind of neat if I could just like check that off on Google Maps and say only take Department of Rural Roads roads. So let this guy go around me, in front of me, and well, there's this little friend here in his white truck. It's funny, when I see cars in Thailand, I will tell you that the majority of them are either white or black. And it reminds me of that quote that I think a lot of people credit Henry Ford for, which is, you can get our car in any color you want as long as it's black. Which of course is supposed to be quite funny. And I'm sure during Henry Ford's time, that was like a really funny joke. Whatever, just flashed into my mind. Yeah, so these are the kind of neat, okay, so I'm gonna open it wide open and I'm gonna see if I can, yeah. So I mean, the pitch of this hill is not so significant that I can't increase my speed. I can't increase my velocity uphill. I can do that for sure. The accelerator is indeed accelerating, meaning that it's increasing my velocity. However, I have been on hills, specifically near KALAMA, where I just have it wide open and it is not increasing my speed up the hill. Those are big hills. But yeah, I like these roads a lot. I have my phone charging with my battery pack underneath the seat. And so that's why, like, when I stop to check Google Maps, it's, you know, I have to stop, literally. I can stop the bike. Phuket International Airport, Nie Yang Beach. I believe, when I was over having breakfast, Ying's husband, who I believe his name is Pierre, I think he said Nie Yang Beach. I think, because I was like, yeah, I want to go to that beach, like, you know, where the planes go. And I think he said it was Nie Yang. That sounds about right. So with any luck, I'm going the right way. I love roads like this, guys. It's like really, really sunny out, but there's like always some shade. And you go from like right now, the sun's right on me, it's pretty warm, and then I come right here, and it's like all... so like, I mean, it's got to be at least 10, 15 degrees cooler just as I turn that corner. You know, I just love that, man. Naiton Beach, or sorry, Naiton Beach, N-A-I. I thought that was N-A-T-H-O-N, which is basically the name of the pier, Koh Samui. I mean, so when I got picked up at the airport, the woman that picked me up, she kind of like went to KALAMA on streets similar to this, like back roads, is what I would call them. So I like how they do this with the red, especially the way it is right now, and it's fairly new. So it's like really rough. Like the amount of traction I have on this red, it's significant. I mean, it's like they mix in like gravel with like red paint. But there's places where they have the red paint, but it's literally red paint. And a lot of times red paint, just paint, when it gets wet, it gets slicker. Which, you know, who knows? Maybe they like do that intentionally. They're like, no one's slowing down driving around this corner. Oh, we'll show them. We'll put down a patch of ice. Lion Beach, Naiton Beach. You know what's crazy is like there will be signs that are like put up by, you know, the roadways, the government. Obviously not private industry. Let me just say that. And even though it's presumably like the same, you know, like the Thai government kind of thing, putting those signs up on the side of the freeways, sorry, on the side of the roads, they will spell things differently. You know, I mean, because again, it's phonetical spelling. This is such a cool friggin' road, dude. I'll tell you right now. There were a couple resorts back there that were definitely big cash. But the first time I had an experience like this, meaning driving on a road like this, was probably Road to Hana in Maui. And so what was funny is for the longest time I would come to roads like this and then I would make the comment, oh my God, this reminds me of Maui. But it does. However, I no longer sort of like refer to it as Maui. I'm like, oh, this is so beautiful. Maui is like this. It's like the other way around. Like I used to say, oh yeah, Grab is the Uber of Southeast Asia. And now I'm like, no. Uber is the Grab of the United States, because their market share globally is depleted compared to Grab. Don't get me wrong, they're still a very useful company. And Grab along with, oh, what's the pink one? Lyft. Uber and Lyft. Yeah, the pink mustache, the guys that used to have the pink mustaches, which I really miss, I will tell you. But now this is definitely the highest density of red patches of very rough area on road that I've ever been on in Thailand. I've never experienced this anywhere. I've never experienced a windy, hilly mountain road that's got that much sort of, intentional traction painting on the corners in any country, really. Or really, yeah, really. There are beautiful views off to my left here, and Andaman White Beach Resort is off to the left here. If you're looking to Google Andaman White Beach Resort. And I bet you, if I Google that, I bet you I can get a ocean view room there for 1,000 baht or less right now. Maybe not. Maybe not. Andaman White Beach Resort, I will look back on that and see what the cost is, actually. Now that's interesting. I would have thought that on a hill like this, you park your bike going downhill, and then you break the wheels against the thing. You don't do it backwards like that, but I don't know. Maybe that does make more sense. I'm not from these parts. Man, but there is one very posh resort after another on this road. That is for darn sure. This is where they build big time resorts over here, that's for sure. Man, I'll tell you something, Phuket is just littered with one luxury resort after another. I mean, when I heard statistics like 90 to 95% of their tourist dollars are now gone, I was like, okay, I get it. Maybe that's it. No, I am feeling it. I am experiencing it. I am driving in it. I am literally living in a community where 90% of their annual income is completely gone. And but to be fair, right? I mean, that's why there's that silly term that everyone seems to use, especially in IT sales, try to make themselves sound intelligent, which is pivot. Mike, are you gonna pivot? Oh, that's a great way to pivot. Yeah, well, you know why that business didn't survive? They didn't know how to pivot. To that point, the restaurant I was just at, Ying's restaurant, they started that restaurant because Ying has a large inventory of motorbikes that Quick Rentals has, that they cannot rent those to save their life. Dude, I mean, this is only child beach, guys. I've got to, okay, I'm gonna turn around and show this to you. We may not make it up to the airport today. But I mean, this whole thing off to the left here, you see this? It's freaking amazing. Now, there's not a whole lot of shade, but I'm gonna cruise down this little path I saw up here. Oh, this is Naitan, I guess, N-A-I-T-H-O-N. And drive down this runoff. And then I'm gonna turn the bike off, and then I'm gonna stop talking. Oh, there's dogs here. I hope I'm not, I hope they don't believe this is their territory. And I'm gonna be encroaching. That would be a disappointing disagreement that I'd have to engage in. All right, we're dismounted. Let's see what we got going on over here. This guy doesn't seem too bothered by me, nor does that guy over there, so with any luck, they'll be my friends. Dude, you gotta be, oh my God. I mean, again, it's really hot right here. Oh yeah, there's a plane coming in over there, if you guys can see that potentially, but that's where it's coming in is the beach that I want to go to. So, but I also promised you that I'd come here and then I would shut off my engine and then I would also stop talking. So I'm going to do that right now. Wow. I mean, this is the kind of a beach you see in the movies. You know, you're like, oh yeah, you know, I could never make it to there. Oh my God, you guys, I'm having a gratitude attack. I joke around by calling stuff only child beach. This is literally that. There are 0 humans. I don't know if the GoPro picks up the green. I mean, this is just like, this is literally perfect beach. Like all the way right there. There's no rocks. It's all sand. It's all this sand all the way out there. And it's hard packed sand. I don't have a towel with me, but I do have the waterproof door for the GoPro. And it's been my experience that many people will just like basically take their shorts off and swim in their boxers. So I think I'm gonna put the waterproof door on the camera. And I'm gonna go there. And I'm gonna see what I see. All right, so let me switch out this door. And we're gonna go swimming on Only Child Beach. We're gonna go swimming on Mike's Beach, because remember how I was at Joy Beach? And we were at Joy Beach because Joy was there and it was like her beach. Welcome to Mike's Beach. I'm really glad you're here. Let's hang out there.